This is the Carty Method Podcast.
Hey, welcome to another episode of the Carty Method Podcast. Today we are talking about making a portfolio so good that your competition disappears. Your portfolio should actually intimidate others. Your portfolio should intimidate other photographers. And that's actually a good thing. For many photographers, the idea of imitating others feels counterintuitive. Listen about this. Your portfolio, not only should it intimidate other photographers, you also have to imitate the right photographers in order to get work. For many photographers, the idea of imitating another photographer feels counterintuitive. We're taught to be original. We're taught to find our own unique style, and we're taught to stand out. But the truth is, the most successful photographers in any niche, they didn't reinvent the wheel, They refined what was already working. I'm going to say that so straight. If you're struggling to land clients, if you're struggling to build recognition, or if you're struggling to create a cohesive portfolio, chances are you're actually making it harder than it needs to be. Today, I'm going to break down why intelligent imitation is one of the smartest things that you can do for your career. Seriously. By the end of today's episode, you're going to understand why top photographers all follow very similar portfolio structures. We're going to learn how your portfolio dictates the type of work that you get hired for. You're also going to learn the biggest mistakes that photographers make in their portfolios. You're also going to learn how to develop a portfolio that attracts the right clients. And I'm going to give you a step-by-step action plan to refine your portfolio over the next month. All right, hope you guys are ready. By the way, have you ever wondered why you're not getting the kind of work that you want, or if your portfolio is holding you back? This is the episode for you. Definitely. Let's dive in, yeah? All right. So, by the way, for over like 3 decades, I've not only mastered the art of photography, but also the business photography. And I've also helped countless other photographers just like you transition from their 9-to-5 grind to a thriving full-time career, just like you, Nick. This isn't just theory. It's proven through my own successes and the successes of those that I've mentored since 1995. I've learned firsthand what it takes to blend creative passion with real-world business savvy, and I'm here to pass that knowledge on to you. If you're serious about leaving behind that 9-to-5 grind and stepping into a life where your creativity pays the bills, this podcast is your roadmap. I'm going to guide you through the mindset shifts, through the strategies and practical tools that have helped me and so many others transform a passion for photography into a profitable, fulfilling career. By the end of today's episode, you're going to have the actionable insights that you can implement right away, helping you move from a place of doubt to one of anticipation and success. So let's get into the truth about intelligent imitation. When I say imitate, I don't mean copying. I mean understanding what works, why it works, and then adapting what works into your own vision. Think about the most successful photographers in your niche. If you pull up 5 of their portfolios right now, you'll notice that all of those portfolios share common traits. A clear, structured layout. That's something that you're going to notice every time you see a portfolio. You're going to see a clear, structured layout. You're going to see cohesive imagery that fits the brand. And you're going to see a curated selection of work that speaks to their ideal clients. Now, I got to tell you, the way that photographers set up their website, their portfolio, it's not an accident. It's intentional. Photographers have figured out that clients, art buyers, agents, they don't want to waste time trying to decode a disorganized portfolio. The fastest way to level up your portfolio, what's the fastest way? Look at top photographers in your field, identify the patterns, and use them as a foundation for your own work. I'm showing you my portfolio right now, and there was a point where that I realized that my book, my website, it just wasn't hitting the way that current portfolios were hitting. So I completely restructured my website, completely restructured my portfolio. I used to show multiple different categories. Now I put all work in one category just called portfolio. But I also show my tear sheets, and tear sheets are your work in action. So you can see my incredibly structured tear sheets of my work out there in the world. When I changed my website to this from Adobe Portfolio, like now I'm like, my other website was close, but this one is way more on brand and way more on point to the way that photographers are presenting their portfolios right now in 2025. So, industry standard portfolio layout. What works and why? So this portfolio of yours, it's not just a collection of your favorite images. It's a strategic tool designed to sell your ability to solve a problem for a client. I'm going to say that again. It sells your ability to solve a problem for a particular client. So this is what an industry standard portfolio should include, okay? It should include a cover page or a home page. Now, if you're a photographer, there's two ways to do it. You can literally go straight to the work like I do. I go straight to the work. And that's something that I'm going to show you a couple of portfolios today, and you're going to see that they go straight to the work. But some have a single image that is like an enter page. There's no clutter. It's just a bold, confident introduction to my work. Okay? That's something that every photographer needs to have. The next thing that you'll notice is cohesive. There's cohesive work. It's not all over the place. It's cohesive, clean work. And I'm going to show you Michael Muller. And again, Michael Muller, it's just clean, organized work, cohesive body of work, niche focused. Okay, by the way, there's no scattered styles. It's consistency. You just see consistency. And clean, minimal navigation. Clean, minimal navigation is so important. If your clients have to search too hard, they're going to leave. And no excessive categories. You know what's crazy? Michael Muller is using Pixpa for his website. Oh my God. Like, it's built on Crop. Look at this. Built on Crop. Crop is a platform, funny enough, Crop's a platform that I know Michael Muller is involved with. Like that's his side hustle, is he invented Crop with a designer. But if you look at the format here of this website, it is almost identical. It's identical to Pixpa. It's identical, which is pretty dope, which tells you that Pixpa is really industry standard. And also, I want you to notice consistent branding. Like just his Michael Muller, it's just written, it's just clean. It's clean. And although Michael, he's been shooting for a while, that's why he has a few categories. It's still simple. Portraits, entertainment, editorial, music. and you get to actually see how clean it is. The only thing that I would say about Muller's site is he could really be using the space left and right the way that I am. Like, I'm using the whole real estate of the whole page, but he's limiting his width to like 8,000 or 1,000 pixels. So that's a bit of a fail. If I were you, I would not do that. So the consistent branding and color palette. You notice, this is something I'm going to notice today. This is the thing you're going to notice today. White or black backgrounds as far as websites, white or black. But every once in a while, you're going to see really random background colors. You're going to see red. You're going to see yellow. You're going to like that little bit of oomph. Like, I kind of like that. So let's get into common portfolio mistakes that cost you jobs. Like common portfolio mistakes that would cost you getting work. The first thing is too many styles. Too many, like, you're trying to show that you can shoot everything. So if your website, and again, I should have bad website examples, but again, it's always hard for the photographers when I'm showing, like, this is a bad example of a website. Like, nobody wants their website to be picked and shown as a bad example. But you have to imagine, if you have too many styles, you're confusing potential clients. Next is you're allowing weak images to be in your portfolio. You're allowing weak images. Where's my mouse? There it is. You're allowing weak images to be in your portfolio. Underexposed next to a perfectly exposed, overexposed next to an underexposed, cold color balance next to warm color balance next to neutral color balance. Like, this just brings down the overall level of your work. The consistency between images is super important. Like, you need to look and scroll one at a time through your images and see, does it go bright, dark, dark? Like, how's your framing? Like, all of this stuff is really important. Next, a lack of clear branding. Like, who are you? When we go to your website, does it show your name? Like, is the branding clear? It's super important that, I mean, for me, that's my oh, coffee. That's my Carty dot matrix logo, which I use for my Steve Carty photographer. That is my brand, and it is everywhere. The branding is very important. When you go to my About page, and we're going to get into About page as well, you see how this brand just works with the way that I present my website. So, lack of clear branding makes you forgettable. So, I remember, I've been looking at so many portfolios lately, but when I see a portfolio that has strong images, but from too many different niches, like, this is what photographers do. They try to show, this is all the stuff that I can shoot. This is all the stuff that I can shoot, which is essentially casting the widest net possible. So just anybody who might possibly need something photography related, they'll see that I can do everything. So I'll get the job. No, you won't get the job because you're going to be forgettable, because people aren't looking for a generalist. People are looking for a specialist. Like, so if you want headshots, you're going to hire someone who has a lot of headshots on their book, in their portfolio, or somebody who looks like they even specialize in headshots, right? If you buy a $250,000 McLaren, you're not hiring Bob's Photography to shoot your McLaren that cost $500,000. You're calling the best car photographer that you can afford, that has a portfolio full of supercars. Because now you know that this photographer has experience dealing with expensive cars like yours. That increases his reputation. Now that photographer can charge $30,000 for that shoot, to shoot that McLaren, because of his specialty and his experience. Now, if you were a generalist and had no pictures of supercars in your portfolio, and you're now invisible to the person who has the $50,000 and the supercar and who's trying to find a photographer, because you don't qualify. You don't have enough examples exactly for that thing. And also you don't specialize in supercars because he's looking for a specialist. The same way, if you have a problem with your sinuses, you go to an ear, nose, and throat doctor. If you have eye problems, you go to an optometrist. You're not going to a general practitioner to have your eyes looked at. You're going to an optometrist. You're going to a specialist. Photographers need to be specialists, and how you demonstrate your speciality is with your website. So strong individual images, but all over the place, doesn't work. Strong individual images with all kinds of different niches doesn't work. We need strong individual images on a complete identical theme or niche. Like that now starts to really work. So who is your portfolio for? Like that's something that I want you to ask yourself. Who's my portfolio for? The idea about this is I'm trying to help you understand your audience. It's really important to understand who would hire you. Who would hire you? Most photographers make this critical mistake. They build this portfolio. They build this sick-ass book. They build it for themselves, not for their audience. They build their book for themselves. These are photographs that I like. These are photographs that I think make me look cool. They're not for an audience at all. Your portfolio, it isn't for you. It's not for you at all. It's for the people who decide to hire you. Your key audience could include your potential clients. And your potential clients, they need to see instantly if you're the right fit. Instantly. So this is why photographers don't have header pages that goes right into the work. It's because if someone is looking for a portrait photographer, just by scrolling like this, they can see if my style fits what they're looking for. Super, super simple. Just on a scroll, they can see very quickly if my style is what they're looking for. Next, art buyers. Now, art buyers, they're looking for high-level professional work. High-level professional work. And art buyers have anybody who's hiring you has very little amount of time when it comes to looking at your portfolio. So use all the real estate so you can show the most amount of photos as possible without making your photos super small that they have to be enlarged. You'll notice my pictures are sized in such a way that you can see them all without clicking. But if you click any image, you get it full screen. And then next, which is very important, with these two fingers on the arrows on your keyboard, you can navigate super fast through the portfolio, and you push the back arrow and you go back. You push the front arrow and you go front. So you can navigate a portfolio super, super, super fast. And look how fast my photographs load. Look how fast my pictures load. Look how fast they load. And also industry standard. And you can also push play up here and let them play as a slideshow. So you can be looking at and without having to use the navigation. These are things that art buyers like. These are things that agents like. And the next type of people who are looking at your website, photo agents, agents that are looking like, hey, I'm looking for the next hot photographer. So they're also looking at your website. When your website isn't industry standard, you lose all of these big money people. You lose all of these big money people. So these people don't care about your creative struggles, by the way. They don't care about, oh, woe is me. They don't care about your financial situation. They care about whether your portfolio shows them what they need to see fast. That's it. Fast. So, all you need to do is talk to Gabe, my marketing coach, or Michael, my business coach, or Tim, my creative coach, and you realize how little like personal background matters to a client. They literally just want to know if you can deliver the work that they need. They don't give a shit. They don't care where you're from. They don't care whether you're white, black, blue, male, female. A, are you amazing? B, are you able to deliver the work that they need? And C, are you likable? It's really it. So let's talk about some photographers worth imitating. Let's talk about photographers worth imitating, because there are some brilliant photographers worth imitating. One of the most powerful exercises that you can do is study the portfolios of photographers in your niche. That you can definitely do. These are the people who are getting hired consistently. They're booking super high-end clients, and they're operating at the level that you're trying to reach. Let's get into it. First of all, fashion and editorial photographers. Now, I'm going to show you some bangers. This is where, here we go. Photographers worth imitating. Nobody makes me happier than Albert Watson. I haven't talked about Albert Watson enough. I haven't talked about Albert Watson enough on this channel, but the way that this man shoots, holy moly. And looking at his photographs, Albert Watson, they call him Cyclops because he's blind in one eye. And his fashion, his portraits, his sensibility, like we're looking at his current portfolio. And Albert Watson is like in his 70s. So not everybody is able to show the kind of portfolio that Albert Watson shows. But again, it's because he has 50 years of professional work. 50 years. So Albert Watson, just one of those photographers worth imitating. And if you're not aware of Albert Watson, oh my God, go to a bookstore. Buy one of his books. Albert Watson... Hey, look at that. Albert Watson has photographed some of like the world's biggest stars. And also he's been doing it for generations. And also he orders his photos by the decade. He orders them by the decade, which is crazy. How do I get off of this? There we go. He orders them by the decade. All right, let's get into our next. Who's our next photographer worth imitating? Our next photographer worth imitating. Oh, this photographer, I don't think I've ever shown you guys this guy before. This photographer, his name is Lane Coder. Lane Coder has the dopest name and makes the dopest photographs. And his he's so hard to he is an editorial shooter, but when you look at the way that he sets up his portfolio, his photos are very, very haunting. And again, yes, he's breaking a rule. This is a center focused horizontal. But just watch. Definitely has this crazy sensibility in the way that his photos just feel blue. All his photos just have this tone, and the way that he puts them together makes no sense. It's very Wes Anderson. But this is Lane Coder. And again, he breaks so many rules. He breaks so many rules as far as what your portfolio should look like, but it works. It works in such a profound way. And this is the overview. This is his overview, meaning this is what he wants you to see first. So looking at Lane Coder and seeing this, like, look at the color, like how it has this blue, which is so gorgeous, and mixing aerials and night photography and sunsets and fashion. Like, there's no rhyme nor reason to this, but you need to see this. You need to see how this shooter puts his portfolio together. All right, where is, here we are. Here's his portraits. And seeing his portraits all put together is really nice. So this is Lane Coder. And again, photographers worth imitating. Oh my God. So good. This guy's terribly good. This is Lane Coder. Again, this photographer is worth imitating. Oh my God. I don't know why I keep saying intimidating. Lane Coder. Next on the list is Lachlan Bailey. Lachlan Bailey. And Lachlan has a very interesting portfolio. The way that Lachlan's book goes in years. So you can just scroll through his editorials and you can see that this guy is a fashion lifestyle photographer. He is a fashion lifestyle photographer. Like, he makes gorgeous work. Look at the color balance. Look at the tone, this warmness. And he shoots H&M. Like, you should see this guy's work is everywhere. Everywhere. Come on. And again, I love the way that he shoots models that look like real people. Like real people, models. It's a really beautiful sensibility. This is Lachlan Bailey. Like, just killer photographer. And again, Louis Vuitton. Photographer's worth. And again, this is mother and daughter, which is gorgeous. Mother and daughter. That's mother and son. Mother and son. So smart. So, Lachlan Bailey. And again, we're just looking through some of his, and if you see his clients, you can see clients, like, come on. It just goes on forever. Lachlan Bailey. And again, of course, I'm just using the arrows to navigate. Lachlan Bailey. And client work. It's just gorgeous. 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 Next on the list is Diana Schooneman. Diana Schooneman is, again, it's important for me to put females on this list because, got to tell you, ladies are some of the best photographers. Ladies are some of the best photographers, but you have to be looking at the right ladies. You got to be looking at the right ladies. Look at Diana Schooneman. Her pictures are bananas and so bold, so confident. She's technically has great ideas. And again, female photographer, Diana Schooneman. And look at how she deals with men. Look at her editorial. Like, sexually charged photography. Like, high energy, edgy, expressive. And again, another industry standard website that I'm showing you. You notice? Another industry standard website? This is Diana Schooneman. And the work goes on forever. So good. You can check her portrait, fashion, lifestyle, her advertising. Look at how edgy her location work is. She's using like hard light, sometimes like I would say ring light, on camera, like look at this sensibility. So dope. And also, one thing she doesn't allow her pictures to be clicked. You can't click these and make them bigger. So, Diana Schünemann. Again, such a sick photographer and somebody worth imitating. Diana Schünemann. Okay, so let's talk about commercial and advertising photographers worth imitating. Let's talk about Aaron Anderson. Aaron Anderson is a photographer that I learned about from one of my shooters named Garan Rath. Garan Rath turned me on to Aaron Anderson. And look at this website. Again, big thumbnails, no space in between the photos, but shows you the work right away, right into the work. Super big, engaging thumbnails that he puts on top of each other, using all the space to show you the work. This is Aaron Anderson. And again, it shows you like the bar for professional photography is really high. I would classify him as a commercial advertising photographer with a very strong bias in lifestyle, meaning real people doing real things photographed in a stylized way. This is Aaron Anderson. Very dope, right? Definitely a photographer worth imitating. Now, you can see Aaron has bold, vibrant work with the really strong brand identity, which I really appreciate from this photographer. And you can see portrait, lifestyle, sport projects. Look at Aaron Anderson. Look at his strength in location. Look at his use of natural light. Natural light. Like, come on. Like, this is a vibe, right? So again, this is something that you kind of got to be on. Like, you kind of got to be on this, right? This is Aaron Anderson. Like, clever, funny, edgy, likable, right? So that's Aaron Anderson. Let's get back into another female commercial advertising photographer. This is Julia Stotts. And Julia Stotts is another photographer that I found from Mr. Garan Rath, conceptual food, drink, and lifestyle photographer. So notice opens with an image, opens with a single image. When you scroll, it brings the whole portfolio up. So a little bit of a different angle, but still the same vibe. Also, when you roll over, it shows you these rollovers, which is very, very Adobe portfolio. And also not really on trend anymore. But I want you to look at, again, these rollovers were very much like, this is an Adobe portfolio thing, but I don't love it anymore. Okay, this is Julia Stotts, but look at the work. Look at the way that she uses GIFs within her portfolio in order to grab your attention and draw your eye towards a certain areas of her book. Again, she's using motion. The way that she's holding this can, I would think that I would hold the can with the right hand, because if she's holding this can with the right hand, then the text would be up the right way, or with the left hand, I mean, then the text would be up the right way. The can text is upside down, which I would have fixed or grabbed another can. Anyways, this is Julia Stotts. So looking at her portfolio, you can see she's a food, beverage, lifestyle photographer, shoots advertising, but there's no question that she shoots food and drink. There's no question that like she's a food and drink photographer. And then you see still life and product, people and places. You can see the way that she says people and places, she's not really shooting people here. Like, this is her people photography. It's product photography, but it involves it's on figure. This is still product photography. It's food photography more than it's portraits. So again, this kind of stuff, like, I wouldn't call her a people photographer. She's just shooting the person that she's working with, who's making the food. So I understand why she slides it way down her category list. It still fits within her sensibility. So I give this girl top props. That's Julia Stotts, everybody. And another from commercial advertising, this is Jan Verboom. Jan Verboom is, again, a shooter that I just discovered recently. Have a look at Jan Verboom and what his commercial portfolio looks like. Look at this idea. Alcohol, beverage, kids. Like, this is commercial work. This is big money photography. But again, you have to know how to shoot it. And Jan Verboom has, like, just, again, and I want you to notice the industry standard website. It's a vibe. It's a vibe. So this is Jan Verboom. Again, photographers worth imitating. Let's get into, and again, he's commercial lifestyle, right? So let's talk about heavy lifestyle with like a hint of like documentary-ish, like heavy lifestyle photographers. And these are people who are really able to take pictures of what they see, which is like, think street photography, think event photography, but have completely flipped that and turned it into, $500,000 a year business. So starting with Pascal Shirley. Pascal Shirley is a lifestyle photographer. And again, when you look at this work, I want you to realize he's a lifestyle photographer because he puts people in his landscapes. So he can call it lifestyle. Like, this is what makes this beautiful. In his cityscapes, he puts people in his cityscapes, however small, which makes it go from street photography to lifestyle, which makes, again, this image with just this solo car on these empty streets, lifestyle. And he does it so well. When you see the type of clients that this photographer works for, and again, this opening page, he's showing this is just a lot of new work, and that's Tokyo and Koto. But this is Pascal Shirley. Like, this is the work that I know him for. Like, look at this work. You can see he is a food, beverage, and lifestyle photographer. He's a lifestyle photographer. And when you go back up here to the top, but he also includes personal work. He includes personal work. So the way that he puts his photography together, it just feels real and it doesn't feel so highly commercial, and clients really love that. He has like a really approachable take on making photos. Again, it's very approachable and it gets work. So you can see he also has Waka City and his travel. He has, personally, I think, too many categories, but you can see he can also just send a single category to a client because there's so many photos here. So this is his portrait category. And you can see he just has a different way that he delivers his photography. And it's very likable, very approachable. Guys, that's Pascal Shirley. So again, very different, right? And then another lifestyle / documentary photographer. This is Dina Litovsky. Dina Litovsky. And let's look at Dina. This is some new work from Dina. And again, look at how she does lifestyle photography. Like on camera flash, or actually not on camera. She's using studio light because you can see where the shadows traveling. So studio light portraits outside, which I love. I'm going to start doing that this summer. Studio portraits, studio light outside. This is Dina Litovsky. Very unique take of making pictures. Very stark, very dark shadows and hard light. Hard light almost everywhere. But you can see, like, magazine loves this type of work. It's so editorial. So it's so important to find photographers worth imitating. It's so important to find photographers that are doing something like that's just different, that you've never seen before. It's so important. So important. That's Dina Litovsky. And again, someone who I would classify a lifestyle / documentary-ish photographer. Let's talk about Dan Winters. Now, Dan Winters, it's like Dan Winters makes like cinematic portraits, really cinematic portraits. And like he's a people photographer, but he just has a really deep range. Like, this is Dan Winters, and his style, his sensibility, his ideas, the way that he composes, his photographs look like paintings. Like he very much has like, and I mean, again, as Dan kind of comes into 2025, I'm sure he's going to be pulling back a little bit on post-production, but you know, a lot of this work is from back in the day. But look at his portraits. This is Dan Winters, and you can see again how grand his photos are. So this is again a photographer's worth imitating. Dan Winters. Wow, Jacqueline. I mean, heavy hitters, right? Heavy hitters. Heavy hitters. All right. Look at that one. Look at Natalie Portman with the bald, short head. So good. I love her so much. I'd love to meet Natalie Portman. All right. How come that keeps happening? We're going to turn this off. All right. Let's close a couple of these windows. We're starting to get too many windows. There we go. Let's see who else is on my list. Next, I think that's the end. Aaron Anderson, Dana. So let's talk about what we can learn from these portfolios. I think I'm going to show you one more. Show you one more. Tom Medvich is who I'm going to show you. So this, again, for the product photographers out there, because that's just one of the type of photography that I haven't highlighted today. For the product shooters, this is Tom Medvich. And if you want to be inspired by quality, if you'd like to be inspired by level of detail, have a look at Tom Medvich, who will make you throw up a little bit in your mouth because his photos are so clean. So clean. Look at this. So clean. This is Tom Medvich. So if you're shooting product, have a look at some photographers really truly worth imitating. Come on, like composite idea, the Jordan logo in liquid, crazy. Very clever. GIFs, stop motion, Very clever. Very clever. Like, again, for the product photographers out there, do you have a macro lens? Because look at what you can do. This photo, is why I'm so inspired to shoot my Jordan, but he actually painted a Jordan gold with gold spray paint, and then photographed it, which is super dope, which I should do to my shoe. Tom Medvich, again, super inspiring, and should be giving all my product photographers out there so many ideas. Tom Medvich, like, just disgustingly good photographer, disgustingly good. So that's his overview. And then you can go into work 1, work 2, and just look at his detail. Like, come on. So you want to be a product photographer? Well, should you focus on one thing? Yes. And you can see he focuses only on cosmetics, super high-end cosmetics. And he does all this creative work, and then this creative work gets work. As you can see, gets work clearly, gets magazine work, gets advertising work. So good. Tom Medvich. Also, look at how big his photos are. He only goes 2 across. So you're forced to see his images so big because his quality is so insane and the detail is so big. It's like when you click them, they actually become smaller. So he's showing these thumbnails like massive. And look at this quality. So if you're thinking about product photography, it can't just be product photography. It has to be like actually niched. It can't just be like, I want to shoot products. It's like, well, what kind of products? And like, this is what I want you to do with these photographers that I've showed you today. I want you to analyze their structure and think about, and again, I should post these links of the photographers that I showed. I'll put them in the show notes, but I want you to think about their structure. The first thing you see, how their work is presented, their sequencing, like how do they arrange their images to tell a story? And I want you to be comparing it to your own portfolio and asking yourself, what's missing from my portfolio that I could be doing in order to make my book tell a bit more of a story? What's missing in yours, and how can you refine it? How can you imitate some of the photographers that I showed you today? The goal isn't to copy their work. The goal is to understand how high-level portfolios are structured and apply those principles to your own brand, to your own website. And also, remember this. You will shoot what you show. You will get hired to shoot what you show. So if you're showing low-quality work, you're going to get low-quality people offering low-value money for that work. As soon as you learn how to make high-level work and showcase that in a high-level portfolio, you'll find yourself doing quotes for $10,000, $15,000, $20,000. This is literally one of the biggest lessons that you need to take away from today's episode. And it's one of the biggest lessons that photographers overlook. You get hired based on what's in your portfolio. That's it. That's the end of my sentence. You get hired based on what's in your portfolio. So if you have a whole bunch of random stuff in your portfolio, you might get hired, but you're going to get hired to do random shit and for low money. If you have super high value, high quality products and like high value products, and that you bring value with your work, you'll get hired by high value clients that pay you high value dollars because they see the act of photography as a high value thing that brings them high value. So it's like you're either in the high value club with clients who see photography as a high value thing. They see good photography as a premium thing, and they'll throw tens of thousands of dollars at it because they know showing their work, showing their product in this level sells it better than shooting it with an iPhone, which then makes this Buxiom lipstick, which costs 40 pounds, worth the 40 pounds because of the way that it's been marketed. Like, you buy into the marketing. Now that we see this ad, when you now finally see this product in the store in real life, it's able to command a premium price because you've been marketed to, which elevated the level of this thing that now you're willing to pay premium for that experience. So you get hired for what's in your portfolio. End of story. Whether it's high end or low end, you get hired based on what's in your portfolio. End of story. So next, your portfolio is so important. If your portfolio is full, and I'll say this again, if it's full of low budget work, if your portfolio is full of low budget work, you will keep getting low budget clients. You'll only ever get low budget clients, ever. If your portfolio looks high end, if it looks polished, if it's organized, if it's tight, if your brand is great, if your portfolio is industry standard, you're going to attract high paying clients, higher paying clients. And there's 3 ways that you can fix this today. Seriously, 3 ways. Number 1, study the best photographers in your niche. The best photographers. Don't stop looking at Instagram. Do that for me today. Stop looking at Instagram for inspiration. Will you put your hand up and say, I will stop using Instagram as my professional photography business inspiration? Will you say that? I don't use Instagram for inspiration. Come on. You might find something inspired on Instagram. And again, it's all about how you curate who you're following, how you curate what you're looking at, because Instagram shows you more of what you're looking at. So unless you unfollow all the bullshit accounts and only follow incredible photographers, like all of these shooters that I'm sharing with you, they all have Instagrams. Just only follow the craziest photographers, as well as clients that you want to work for. Only follow that and stop following everything else. Then it'll only show you more of that in your feed. And you will be shown to those people as well. That's how you get work. It's like too many people are following bullshit like model accounts and hot girls that are just doing nothing just to like give you like dopamine hits as you open. It's like, oh, look at those tits. Oh, look at that girl. Oh my God, look at her ass. But it's like, okay, dude, what is that? How does that help you at all? Where it should be, oh my God, look at that photograph. Oh my God, look at that magazine. Oh my God, I want to work for him. Oh my God, I want to work for her. Oh my God, I got to shoot for that guy. Oh my God, I got to shoot like that. Like, it should just be inspiration and clients. So you can change that today. So study the best photographers in your niche. Truly study the best photographers in your niche and identify what's missing in your own portfolio. Now, you can start shooting with purpose. You can start shooting with a purpose today, and you can curate a body of work that aligns with your goals. I've helped so many photographers make this portfolio shift, and they immediately start booking better jobs. Nick Johnson, great example. And I'm going to show you Nick Johnson because Nick has been a coaching client of mine, and he's been in my professional photographers accelerator for the past 6 months. And Nick is about to do his first $9,000 job. He's doing a $9,000 shoot, and he's been getting paid from he left his 9-to-5 full-time photographer. It took a minute, but then he found me, and now he's working. And let's look at Nick Johnson, and looking at Nick Johnson and realizing he sent this for photo reviews. So meaning Nick is part of my system. So I looked at this photo. I reviewed this photo. I looked at this photo. I reviewed this photo. I looked at this photo. I reviewed this photo. I reviewed this photo. It won photo of the week. He did this for my Nike assignment, but I reviewed this photo. It's an editorial portrait assignment. Like, Nick's assignments that he did for me are his portfolio. I reviewed this photo. Like, This is one of the only photos that I haven't reviewed. I reviewed this photo. Like, you can see, like, Nick now, and this was one of his clients that, from talking to me, learning how to pitch, Nick now is making work that gets him work, which is brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. And yeah, this is Nick Johnson. So you see, he has a swaggy to his portfolio. It's super likable, but it's also tight. He's removed all the pictures that no longer serve him, and he's really showing very, very clean fashion, beauty, artistic portraiture. And he's in Eugene, Oregon, Portland, Seattle, LA, Las Vegas. Those are the cities that he serves. So Nick Johnson, and again, Nick made the portfolio shift and immediately started booking jobs. And again, it's like, when you have the right information, I like to think that I give the right information. But again, test it. See if it works. If it works, come back and tell me about it. Your portfolio is your future. Truly. Your portfolio is your future. If your portfolio isn't at the level that you want, your career is not going to be either. I'm going to say it super clearly. If your portfolio is not at the level that you want it to be, your career won't be at the level that you want it to be either. It's super simple. Your career and your portfolio is hand in hand. The good news, you can fix this right now. So here's some actionable steps, okay? First, I want you to look at 5 top photographers in your niche today. Do that today. Start with Behance. And again, so many people don't know Behance. It makes me very upset that so many people don't know Behance. But go to behance.net and search your niche. Search your niche, click creative fields, and then, so here, editorial portraits. Let me just enlarge this. Editorial portraits, and then creative fields down here, photography. Okay, and then let's look at editorial portraits. Now, this is business to business marketplace. So you're going to see pictures that are way better than what you'd see on Instagram and with better style. So now it says Tony is available for hire. So it says, look right here, Tony is available for hire. So I can click here and then look at Tony Muckin. Look, he's a Los Angeles photographer. So now I'm here, I'm looking at all his portfolio. I can see his portfolio, and then I can literally see his email address and his Facebook, his Instagram. He doesn't have a website because he's using Behance as his website, which is way smarter than using Instagram as your website. So this is Tony, and this is his portfolio, and he shows it only on Behance. And how I found him was by searching editorial portraits on the homepage, because you're gonna click the photographer that you like the most. You're gonna click the shooter that you gravitate towards. So then we're seeing this shooter, and I'm looking at this story. You lost me. It's a newer photographer. But let's look at portraits from Christian Selly. That's sexy. Oh, you lost me. Okay, so now we go down here and click Christian Selly, and now we're looking at this guy's website. And the reason that he's not amazing, I clicked this picture, but I thought that I was going to see more killer stuff from here because of this one photo, right? And then you can see this photo, sick portrait. Then I click here, okay. And then, okay, you're kind of losing me. So now I realize he's not a fashion shooter. He's just doing it. And then now, when you look at his website, what do you see? Wedding, I'm a retoucher using AI tools, portrait, kid, portrait, coffee, family portrait, coffee, I'm a food photographer now, flowers, dog, I'm a food photographer again, sunsets, dessert, a wedding, a boxer, mountain. So you start to see, like, obviously this photographer is not going to be good at anything. I'm going to say this again. This photographer is not going to be good at anything because they fucking shoot everything. Do you see that? They're trying to be a retoucher. They're trying to shoot coffee. They're trying to shoot weddings. They're shooting kids. They're shooting desserts. They're shooting dogs. They're shooting boxing. Like, they're shooting desserts. So they're not good at anything because they're trying to do everything. And I was trying to find an example of a photographer that was doing just this earlier, but it's a little bit hard for me to find. But you can see how quickly, and you can tell because the work hits, but it doesn't quite hit hard enough. So again, this is how you research your own niche to find photographers that are worth imitating. This is how you do it. So let's do it with another area. Let's talk product photography. Product photography under the niche of photography. And, let's kick this again. Under the niche of photography. And look at, Carlos Jimenez. I love this photographer so much. And I found this shooter on Behance. Now, I'm going to do a little trick with you. What do you think that this photographer shoots? Would you say, what would you say is his specialty? Would you say composites? Or would you say running shoes? What if I told you, let's look at Carlos. Let's look at Carlos and look at his portfolio. Every one of his stories is doing this insane composite idea of the shoe is in the water, the shoe's blocking the train, the shoe is here, and look at this Jordan, look at this picture and the color composition and how everything matches. Come on. Like, this guy is so good. And imagine he's doing the original photography and he's doing the product photography. So he's shooting the picture and then he's doing the shoe. So, like, come on. Look how dope these ideas are. And he's picking the right location for the shoe. Like, come on. This guy's so. But so you see one story and you're like, okay, he's a one-trick pony. But then you look and you're like, this is all this guy does. This is all he does. And if you see these tags here, these are awards. These are Behance awards. And if you look up here, look at all the Behance awards this guy has. Like, he is ruling this industry. Like, ruling, and 500,000 project views, 50,000 appreciations, all of these products that he uses, all of these sponsors, and he's from Costa Rica, and he's a creator. He has a creative business. He's an art director. So like, it's all he does. And the funny thing is, you can look way back to early before he found his stride. Like, look way back to early, before he found his stride, before he figured out like what it was that he did. Like when he was just starting to figure out his stride. And then he did this project once, Crazy Dream. And then that was the beginning of something. Then he starts putting this apple in here and like blah 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 blah, and then again he starts to really get into the composites. And this, for me, this is how far I've been following this guy, because I saw this picture, and again, this is how long I've been following this guy. So and you can see the work that he's made since here, and like since here, because you can imagine this is in order. So look at all the concepts that and how much better he got from that idea. Because once he realized that this was the sweet spot, these composites, watch. Right here, he stops doing anything else. Right here, he stops doing anything else except for those composites. And now from here, once he realized his sweet spot, that's all he does. And now his business exploded. So that's how you find, that's how you research. That's how you research. I just did it live with you right now. So compare their portfolio to yours. You're first looking at 5 top photographers in your niche. 5 top photographers in your niche, and then compare their portfolios to your portfolio, and then identify 3 things that you could improve immediately. 3 things that you could improve immediately. So let's talk about how you can get some portfolio feedback. First of all, I have just dropped Portfolio Lab. And I am so happy about Portfolio Lab, what this is and what this means for you. Let's talk about Portfolio Lab, which you can see Portfolio Lab if you go to thecartymethod.com and go up here. You will see the new Portfolio Lab. And Portfolio Lab, I promise you, will change everything. This is the replacement for my YouTube submissions. Now we've developed this into something that is so good that I'm only allowing 100 people in here. I have 100 people inside already, but I am letting 100 people access my Portfolio Lab, and then it is closed. So join Portfolio Lab. Thursday and Tuesday photo reviews, as well as support, community support, and the goal being get you to a portfolio that is so killer, like I've done with Nick, like I've done with Sean Thomas, like I've done with Garan Rath, like I've done with so many shooters. Portfolio Lab. That is my new product. You can find it on thecartymethod.com. Please sign up. I'm accepting signups right now. And again, it caps at 100. Once 100 people happen, you won't be able to join anymore. So one other photographer I'm going to show you is Garan Rath. He is somebody else who has been going through my Carty Method system. He's in my accelerator. And again, seeing the level of work that, and again, Garan has completely stripped his portfolio back to make it really just the absolute best of the best. Nick Johnson, I showed you. I got to tell you, like, nothing makes me happier than seeing photographers get to that next level. So you can join Portfolio Lab and you can get direct guidance from me twice a week. That's 8 times a month. That's twice a week, 8 times a month. Yeah, 8 times a month. Why am I doing this for so cheap then? Jesus. Anyways, I set the prices too late. Okay, so anyways, I'll look at your photos 8 times per month. And that means 4 assignments and 4 portfolio reviews, meaning portfolio image reviews. That's super easy. And you can also watch one of my upcoming critiques. Like I do it every Tuesday, every Thursday. Watch my photo review shows. Watch how it completely, even if you're not having your own photos reviewed, watching me review other people's photos will completely change your reality and help you stop making mistakes that I see every day, like center focus horizontals. Next thing, you can start doing right away is you can start applying intelligent imitation. You can start applying intelligent imitation right now. You can start applying it this second. Seriously, like just start using it right now. It's easy. Start using it right now. The pros do this for a reason. Now you will as well. Now you will be like, it's okay for me to like look at references and like grab ideas and assemble my own ideas. It's like, yes, that's what people do. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. The fastest way to grow is to learn from those who are already where you want to be. Let's get to work. I love you guys. You just participated in the first members only live. Thank you for doing that. Thanks for being here. Of course, this is going to be available for everybody to watch right now.
This commercial-free live stream was brought to you by the members of this channel. If it wasn't for you, we'd have to fill up these live streams with ads that would just interrupt the flow. The members of this channel make commercial-free content during these live streams possible. Consider becoming a member for $5 a month today to gain access to secret live streams, live chats, and to show your support with that crown badge next to your name. Sharing is caring. If this content has brought you value today, share it, clip it, post it to your socials. Curating and sharing helpful content makes you an expert, even if the content you're sharing isn't yours. Be a curator and share this content with your network. If you're an emerging or struggling photographer that's trying to break free from your current 9-to-5 grind and transition to the life of a working pro photographer, that's our obsession here at the Carty Method. Register, get the support you need. If you're alone and struggling at this craft, make sure you join the Carty Method community. You'll always find help in the show notes. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Find your creative and business genius with the Carty Method.
A couple of housekeeping notes. First of all, the Carty Method community has been retired. We have merged the Carty Method community with my YouTube submission community, and we've called this new happy place the Portfolio Lab. It means that there's really only my accelerator group and my submission group now. It means it's easier for me to manage and it's easier for you. So that means no more $10 mentorship community, although it still exists. If you've paid for it and you're in there, we're still in there, we're still helping you, but we are retiring it. So I'm hoping that you will join the Portfolio Lab, which is a level up from my mentorship community. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you'll see your name scrolling past the screen because y'all are members watching this live. And again, if you're watching this after the fact, please leave a comment, replay gang. If you've subscribed recently, you're going to see your name scroll across the bottom of the screen. Please consider becoming a member so you can watch me live and talk to me. Guys, I appreciate you much.